So let's talk about our favorite characters. There are 3 characters we play as here, Garrett, Ethan, and Mira. Sam, which was your favorite to play as?
Well, I did like Garrett. I thought that he was a character that got to make a bunch of really hard decisions in this episode, and then I liked where he ended up. I'm really excited to see where he goes, which they kind of hint at the end of, or the show at the end of the episode. I also thought it was cool that you could do like squirely things, and he was a squire. And one of the things is you can keep your word to presumably a dead man throughout the entire episode, and I did. I just felt like really obligated to be a loyal squire, and I thought that was a cool thing to work into it.
He's also the most action-oriented of everybody. Like, he ends up, obviously the beginning of the game is very action-heavy, and he ends up in a lot of sticky situations. He has the fight at the farm, and then he has that tense moment on the King's Road. I mean, he's the most...
press A to look at blood moment.
Press A to look at blood, and then press right to look right, and then, oh, he's turning around slowly, better hide.
Well, and all of the action is on Garrett. Neither of the other characters have any action scenes whatsoever. Right?
Which the very final one with Ethan.
Yeah. But Steve, what about you?
So I liked all 3 characters, but I really appreciated some of the cool things they did with Mira. She's the one who's at the Red Keep. She's in King's Landing. What I liked about her is I had a chance, as I did with Garrett and Ethan, to really like role play, to like get in the head of this character and think about, like, how would she be making these decisions? What should she say in this circumstance? And what was really cool about Mira, I think more so than the other characters, is I never really knew what the right answer was, right? And that to me is super Game of Thrones, right? That ambiguity and like, I'm doing what I think is right.
I'm going to roll the dice on this. It might hurt me. I can't.
Right. And like you were clearly placed in situations by people who said, hey, make sure that you do this kind of thing. And even in that situation, doing that kind of thing, I kept wondering, like, are they going to be mad at me that I'm doing this?
Well, and they straight up tell you, like, you're going to think one thing, but do another. So it's like, what do you really want me to do? And trying to figure out what that was a really high point of her character.
And she also had more interesting interactions, I think. I really like the scene with Ethan where the Lord of Whitehall comes in, but she gets to interact with Cersei and Marjorie and Tyrion, right? And for a fan of the show, it's like, there's your meat right there. You're getting to interact with 3 really, really cool characters. And each one of them had like an interesting moment with her, so I really liked Mira.
For me, it was Ethan.
Yeah, it has to be Ethan.
The scene where he's negotiating with the Lord of House Whitehall, Whitehill, White something, White stuff, Lord of White stuff.
Look what they did with their trees. Their hill is just white now.
Yep. Like that for me was one of the best like interactions period throughout the whole thing. And I actually found kind of the interactions with the cast members from Game of Thrones a little bit distracting, just because I was kind of judging how well they were rendered in this game, as opposed to just looking at like how these original characters interact and how they're talking to each other without any preconceived notions of how that should go.
Plus, we know the events that happened to those characters, so it made me think like, well,
and that's why I didn't side with Marjorie. Like, why would I do that? You're not going to become queen.
One cool thing that I think worked with Ethan is Ethan copped a real serious like Robb and Bran Stark vibe. So it didn't let you be those characters, but it puts you in that situation of like, you're this young guy now, and all this power is put upon you. And I really grappled with that. I was really invested in
I loved his struggle with, I'm young and I'm playing with my siblings in the forest, but also I have a duty, and how far am I willing to go to fulfill that, and what will I do to protect my family while doing this against a threat like Ramsay Snow?
So the point is, they're all pretty good characters.
Yeah, they're fantastic. I can't wait to see who else they bring to the table.
Yeah, I believe they told us before the game ever came out that there'd be at least 5 playable characters.
Yep.
Can't wait to see who they are.